Now on CoastTV News.
Recovery operation on the Potomac. New information just in, including a local victim on that deadly plane crash.
Milton speeders deleted a website taken down and Atlantic Street divided over road safety solutions.
We are expecting rainy conditions for all of Friday. I'll tell you why we have that yellow alert day on tap.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Tragedy on the Potomac. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 5. We begin tonight with the deadly midair collision in D.C.
And just in, we now know at least one person from Delaware was on that plane.
The University of Delaware confirming tonight that several members of the figure skating community connected to the university were among those who tragically lost their lives in the collision. UD said at this time they're aware that Sasha Kirsanov, a former UD figure skating club coach, was on the airplane.
The university also believes two young skaters who were members of the UD figure skating club were also on board. The university says it's unknown at this time whether these young skaters who are not UD students were accompanied by their parents or their other chaperones.
This, of course, is a developing story. Here is what we know about the crash so far. On Wednesday night, the Army Black Hawk helicopter collided with an American Airlines regional jet mid-air. A military official telling NBC News there were 3 people on board the helicopter that had been participating in a training flight. The American Airlines flight was carrying 60 passengers and 4 crew members and was flying from Wichita, Kansas to D.C. It was just seconds from landing at Reagan National around 9 o'clock last night when the collision happened. Both the helicopter and jet plunging into the Potomac River. Recovery efforts underway. All 67 people, though, are presumed dead.
And here's a closer look at the moment the collision happened. You can see the explosion on your screen as the two collide just south of Washington, right over the Potomac River across from Reagan National. The main runway at Reagan is the busiest in the nation. This is a common approach that this plane was taking. There's over 800 daily takeoffs and landings at Reagan every single day.
The American Airlines flight was coming from the south, the helicopter on a path following the Potomac River, heading from the north.
The helicopter was in a standard pattern. If you live in the D.C. area, you'll see helicopters up and down the river. This flight pattern is seen oftentimes when you live in D.C. This was a standard flight pattern last night as well. The American airline flight coming into land was in a standard flight pattern as it was coming into DCA. So this was not unusual with a military aircraft flying the river and aircraft landing at DCA.
The crash is the deadliest in the U.S. in nearly 24 years.
NBC's Jay Gray takes us to Washington, where the investigation is just beginning.
Teams continue to search the bitter cold waters of the Potomac. Their mission now shifting from rescue to recovery.
At this point, we don't believe there are any survivors from this accident.
A horrific midair collision.
Crash. This is Alert 3.
An American Airlines regional jet on final approach to Reagan National Airport with 60 passengers and 4 crew members, and an Army Black Hawk chopper, 3 soldiers on board during what's described as a routine training flight, both aircraft exploding into a fireball at impact.
We will look at the aircraft, we will look at the helicopter, we will look at the environment in which they were operating in.
Investigators stress finding a cause is going to take some time. They'll analyze black box flight data recorders and cockpit voice recordings, as well as air traffic control communications, and eventually literally piece together the wreckage.
That we are going to leave no stone unturned in this investigation.
As that work continues, so does the difficult task of finding the victims. Dozens have been pulled from the crash site, crews promising to continue until all 67 who died are found. A group that includes several young figure skaters and their coaches.
It's a close, tight bond, and I think for all of us, we have lost family.
Overwhelming loss that so many families are dealing with right now. Jay Gray, NBC News, National Airport.
Meanwhile, the conditions for first responders who are searching for victims near the Reagan National Airport reportedly extremely difficult. The work to recover the wreckage from the Potomac is now underway. Officials say the darkness and the weather complicated efforts on Wednesday.
The conditions out there are extremely rough for the responders. It's cold. They're dealing with relatively windy conditions. Wind is hard out on the river.
And let's take a look at the collision scene. This was shortly after 4 p.m. today. You can just see some of the wreckage out there. And now let's turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams, who's going to take a look at today's conditions near the Potomac River, near that site. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening to you, Charlie. What we've done right now, we're taking a very forensic approach to what's happening with the weather conditions. Now, during the actual flight, at about 8:52, we had 29-mile-per-hour wind gust that was reported. Now, in addition to that, the Potomac River, we're talking about the temperature being in the 30s, if not a little bit below that. Now, that's why you saw those chunks of ice that was floating throughout the water. So it wasn't totally frozen over, but it was close to it. So that's what makes for very harsh recovery conditions. Now, not only that, but we're also going to be concerned about what happened as far as the conditions and the recovery effort right now. You can see that we had still steady at 20 to 26 mile per hour winds, hadn't changed. Here's where we are right now. The winds are now pushing in shifted direction out of the south. We're still looking at least 9 to 7 mile per hour winds. And you complicate that because we're looking at dark conditions because there's not much in the way of viewership. In addition to that, most people may not be aware, but we have an active small craft advisory that's right now throughout that area. So we're looking at isolated pockets of 25 mile per hour wind gusts, and we're trying to navigate a rescue vehicle, a search vehicle, or more exact, when you're dealing with boats that are trying to pull things out. That makes for a very complicated situation because a lot of these boats are a little bit tall because they need that leverage to pull things out. So even though you may think 25 mile per hour winds doesn't seem like a big deal, when you're on that rescue boat, particularly with cold water, it makes it extremely difficult. And so tonight's not going to be much easier than what they had last night, Maddie.
Thank you. And right now we are learning more about some of the plane crash victims. A Virginia skate coach says his ex-wife was among those lost.
Yeah, my ex-wife, Ina, it's one of those things. She was a figure skating coach at heart, an amazing skater. And just knowing that what the impact she made to all the skaters and everyone just hurts my soul. And I wish all those kids that she taught, just my condolences, and I wish them, all my prayers go out to them. I wish them the best of life and everything, because I know it's going to be so hard without her.
And a bit closer to home here, the Philadelphia Skating Club and Humane Society in Ardmore shared devastating news that beloved members of their clubs were among those killed in the plane crash.
And new tonight, one of the American Airlines pilots, 28-year-old Samuel Lilly, has been confirmed as a victim. You can see Samuel and his father, his dad, also a pilot, saying on a post on Facebook, quote, "I was so proud when Sam became a pilot," unquote.
In Kansas, a prayer service was held today at City Hall in Wichita in honor of victims of the crash. The City Council chamber was full of community members who came out to mourn and show their support for others affected by this absolutely terrible crash.
And if you believe you had loved ones on the American Airlines flight, that flight is 5342 from Wichita, Kansas. American Airlines has a phone number. It's right on your screen here. That is 1-800-679-8215. And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, how do you feel about flying after this deadly mid-air collision?
Let's take a look at the results so far. 77% say they are still confident, 4 are more cautious, 15 very nervous, and 4% avoid flying now. I mean, this is a conversation many of us have in the newsroom today, Charlie.
A lot of us having that conversation in the newsroom. I'm sure in a lot of homes right now that conversation is happening. You can be a part of it. Go to CoastTV.com or use your Coast TV mobile app.
This story is developing by the hour. We have multiple articles up right now on CoastTV.com. And we know this collision and the massive loss of life. It's disturbing. It's heartbreaking. And there are many more questions than answers at this time. We here at Coast TV, we will stay with you, our viewers, providing accurate information in real time as it comes in. And for the families and loved ones of those victims, our hearts are truly with you.
Still ahead, an update on the Nalu restaurant expansion in Dewey Beach.
And we have steady showers arriving. We're watching out for widespread soaking showers for tomorrow. The weekend is going to trend dry and seasonable. And then we'll have a spring-like situation as we go into next week.
The therapy dog making a big impression in Lewis. It's a story that will bring maybe a little bit of much-needed cheer today. Up next.
Thursday through Monday only, you'll love the savings at Johnny Janasic's 5-day sale. Save up to 50% store-wide. Plus, take an extra 10% off everything, including clearance items. But it all ends Monday, only at Johnny Janasic.
Did you know after the 4th missed mortgage payment, pre-foreclosure starts and you're headed to auction? This will ruin your credit and make it hard to buy or even rent in the future. To stop the foreclosure, look into a loan modification, file bankruptcy, or call a professional home buyer. You don't have to lose your home, but you do have to act fast. Delmarva Dave is here to help. For more information about Delmarva Dave, visit delmarvaexperts.com.
Limited space holding you back? Dive into your dreams with Miller Pools and Outdoor Living.
Our concrete pools are long-lasting and fully customizable to fit anywhere in your outdoor living space. Whether you're dreaming of an elegant design or something simple, we'll guide you through the process every step of the way. We prioritize your schedule and offer special financing options. We also specialize in pool decks, built-in pool bars, cabanas, outdoor kitchens, renovations, and upgrades.
Call Miller Pools and Outdoor Living for summer 2025 pool cleaning and service.
Elmo, Abby, and Cookie Monster are joining their furry friends from Sesame Street in your neighborhood in Sesame Street Live. Say hello. They're inviting you to sing, dance, and play along March 25th at the Ocean City Performing Arts Center. Tickets available at ococean.com/pack. The brand new musical celebration, Sesame Street Live. Say hello. See you on Sesame Street.
Thursday through Monday only, you'll love the savings at Johnny Janasic's 5-day sale. Save up to 50% store-wide. Plus, take an extra 10% off everything, including clearance items. But it all ends Monday, only at Johnny Janasic.
In our business, there's a phrase, never work with kids or dogs. Their star simply shines too bright. But we've got to tell you the story of Paris, the therapy poodle, who in Lewis is changing lives, one pet at a time. This is Paris, full name Grand Champion Dominion Fabulous. Weekly being a champion for people's hearts at the Lewis Senior Activity Center.
I'm grieving a loved one that has recently passed away, and this is the best medicine, being around a dog.
Yeah, want to visit? Okay.
Paris is a certified therapy dog. She and her mom, Joan, spend time here, bringing a special calm and joy that only our four-legged friends can bring.
They both smile, and they connect. They really do.
Joan and Paris also go to Delaware Hospice, where Paris brings peace.
Good girl. I remember a patient that we visited who was really at end of life, and he hadn't spoken to anybody or reacted to anybody, but they did know that he loved dogs. So they asked me if I would bring her to his room, and I did, and they just took his hand and put his hand on her, and he actually opened his eyes and smiled and said hi.
Whatever door Paris walks through, tail wagging and with those soulful puppy dog eyes, she uses her 4 paws to help people take a different type of pause.
You know, she makes everybody just stop, take a breath, and kind of refocus on what's important, just being, I think she's really about taking care of yourself.
An indefinable but undeniable type of healing, exemplified only by man's best friend.
Paris, you are so sweet.
For Coastal Connections, I'm Madeline Overturf.
You are something else.
This morning's weather forecast courtesy of Baths by Spicer Brothers, a Delmarva tradition for over 20 years.
Shower your home with love with a new bath from Baths by Spicer Brothers. Our factory-trained experts can transform your space into one you'll love in as little as 1 day.
And with our price match guarantee and our done right guarantee, you can have peace of mind knowing your new bath or shower will last a lifetime. Right now, get 50% off installation, plus take advantage of no interest and no payments until 2026.
Call to schedule your free in-home consultation. Baths by Spicer Brothers, because you deserve the best.
Jessica moved into a new apartment. The apartment felt safe, but the parking lots were not well lit, exterior doors didn't lock, there were no security cameras and no security officers on patrol. Jessica was assaulted and robbed outside her own apartment. If not for the lax security, this never would have happened. Luckily, Jess knew who to call for an inadequate security case, and now you do too. If you've been injured as a result of a property owner's inadequate security, tip the scales of justice in your favor. Call Schwartz & Schwartz today.
Since 1925, Avery Hall has been the go-to insurance agency for those who want quality service with a personal touch. Our unique consultative approach is all about you. Our agents take the time to understand your specific needs and craft coverage that protects your assets and offers peace of mind, whether it's employee benefits, individual, or business insurance. Avery Hall isn't just an insurance agency, we are a cornerstone of Delmarva and are committed to supporting and protecting the communities we call home. Avery Hall, insurance solutions for today's world.
Get covered from the rain with a free CoastTV umbrella. Simply enter at coasttvumbrella.com for a chance to win. Then catch CoastTV News weekdays to see if you've won. Sponsored by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
Download the free Coast TV First Alert weather app with live satellite and radar, severe weather alerts, and extended forecast. Sponsored by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
Dandelions, a bright yellow warning that now is the time for prevention because crabgrass and clover aren't far behind. Hillside Lawn Service has been making lawns around the Chesapeake healthier and weed-free for nearly 30 years. From soil to trees, grass and weeds, Hillside's certified agronomists test your soil, apply exactly what it needs and nothing it doesn't. Their high-efficiency formulas help protect our waterways. Switch to Hillside now and get $25 off their annual maintenance program. Call Hillside Lawn Service for your free assessment.
We're looking for and expecting rain throughout Friday to the point where we have a yellow alert day, and I'm going to help define that for you as well. Our Gateway Subaru camera in Ocean City, we're looking at 39 degrees, dew point of 31. We're going to settle in the 30s to low 40s for the rest of the night with scattered cloud cover like you see behind me. We are currently in the 40s with the inland areas like 46 for us and Seaford, 45 Redden, 40 in Milton, but we're in the 30s along the coast with 38 in Rehoboth Beach as well as Bethany Beach. But we are getting a little bit cooler because the cold front's pushing through. In fact, we are 12 degrees cooler now than we were just 24 hours ago in Salisbury and Georgetown, 17 degrees cooler in Ocean City. The winds right now gusting out of the south between 12 to 13 along the shore, but then we're looking at 16 mile per hour winds. Now, we have the small craft advisory that's active really for the next couple of days, especially with that rain that's going to roll through our immediate area. We have that same concern for gusty winds along the shore for us throughout portions of Ocean City and then over towards Nanticoke as well as Christfield and going into the East Coast as a general whole. We see an area of rain that's developing now making its way into portions of Kentucky and now muscling its way into the Ohio Valley region. That's what's going to eventually move in our direction. Now for tomorrow, we have rain and it's a yellow alert day. Then on the weekend, chilly with some sunshine and seasonal, and then we'll recover a little bit for tomorrow. By the way, when I say a yellow alert day, let me explain to you what we mean by that real quick. A yellow alert day, we're looking at least 1 inch of rain or possible snow, and we're looking at the winds gusting up to about 40 miles per hour. But it's not going to be a severe event because, you know, we're looking at widespread rain. You can see with our models throughout all of Friday, we're in the green, so to speak. And we do have some embedded cells that are expected to kick in by the late evening hours as well. Our chance of precipitation escalating to a 96% chance. So we're in the no for the scattered showers. Now, it's going to cover from Ellendale down to Berlin for Friday, throughout Friday afternoon, Friday evening. It becomes even more intense, particularly over towards Del Mar by about 8:30. Then it clears out throughout the northern portions of our viewing area. Now, as far as the amount of rain, we're still looking at that range up to about an inch to maybe even an inch and a quarter in Fenwick Island, and same holds true for us in Ocean City. The winds are going to stay active as well, looking at 27 to 30 mile per hour winds coming out of the southwest going into Friday. But then as we go into Friday evening, we're looking at 33 mile per hour winds. Saturday, the winds change direction, pushing out of the north. So when you take a look at our day part forecast, we're looking for rain starting at 6 o'clock in the morning, lasting all the way until 4 o'clock in the evening. We're at periods of rain with temperatures near the 60s going into a good portion of Friday. So we're still expecting temperatures well above the norm for this time of the year. And going to the last part of it, we're looking for our special Olympics for Delaware. Our polar plunge is going to stay on the chilly side Saturday and Sunday, temperatures in the 40s. So rounding it up, or rounding it off, or finishing it off, rather, 37 for tonight, 57 and rain for tomorrow, 10 degrees cooler on Saturday. Here's a look at your extended forecast.
Well, thank you very much. Well, you might remember a few days ago we told you about MiltonSpeeders.com. That's a website and live stream that tracked drivers on Atlantic Street. Well, the website has since been deleted. The owners say they feel this is the most responsible step forward. Some neighbors think that was the right thing.
I have heard comments that, I'm never coming to your town again because, everybody's yelling and mad at each other. I think in one way what she has done is create one central enemy for everybody to gripe about and not necessarily reduce speeding.
Well, we did reach out to police and the mayor to see if speeding is an issue for them on the street, but we didn't hear back.
On the coast in Dewey, Nalu continues to expand. As you can see here, the work has already begun. According to the restaurant's owner, the new expansion will create a new indoor dining area. The stage, currently outdoors, will be moved to an indoor space which will connect to the outdoor patio through 2 sliding glass doors. You might remember in July, the Dewey Beach Town Council approved the plan for an expansion, but some, while excited, others were worried about the noise.
Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network at 6 p.m., it's live men's college basketball when Salisbury hosts UC Santa Cruz. Then tune into the final score at 10:30. And over on the DSN Plus app at 5:30, Bayside Conference boys basketball when Pocomoke visits Y-High. And at 6:30, it's Henlopen Conference boys basketball. Cape is at home with Laurel.
Teaming up to form the town of Blackwater. Coming up, a community on the midshore looks to become more than a spot on the map. Stay tuned on Coast TV News at 5.
At Patio Systems, integrity is the pillar of our craft, creating outdoor havens that stand the test of time. Expand your outdoor season with the shore's best selection of screens and glass enclosures, pergolas, retractable awnings, and a wide selection of modern decking and railing systems. Visit our new showroom located on Coastal Highway and experience our products firsthand, or schedule a free consultation with our friendly staff. Be on the lookout for our sales now through March 1st at Patio Systems, locally owned and operated since 2001.
Sponsored by Patio Systems, where integrity is the pillar of our craft.
Start something new at McGee Motors.
Start an adventurous Jeep Grand Cherokee, now just $259 a month. Start something powerful. Durango GT Plus is just $289 a month.
Start something big. Ram Bighorn is $339 a month. Or get a Ram 2500 Tradesman, now up to $15,000 off.
Or start something legendary. 4x4 Jeep Wrangler Sport is now just $189 a month.
At McGee Motors in Georgetown, a family tradition since 1948.
Secondhand smoke lingers for hours. And it's killed almost 3 million people since 1964. When you smoke in the house, everyone in the house smokes. So, take it outside. Visit takeitoutside.de.org.
Your child deserves the best. When your child is sick, every moment counts. And the team at Tidal Health Pediatrics understands the urgency of such situations. Whether it's a sudden fever, a troubling cough, or another pediatric ailment, your child will be seen when they need it most. Schedule your child's appointment now at tidalhealth.org/findapediatrician or call 410-912-5785 because your child's health is our top priority. Tidal Health Pediatrics, compassionate care when you need it most.
You may think your home's crawl space is okay, but chances are it's not.
Mold, pests, and rotting beams can all cause problems for your home and for your family. The good news is your home's crawl space problems can be fixed permanently, so you and your family can rest easy. Because crawl space problems won't get better with time, but they will get better with us. Call Dry Zone today for your free estimate.
Brought to you by Dry Zone, your local crawl space experts.
In regional news, 3 men in Dorchester County believe they have come up with a way to save their communities. The crew says the small southern Dorchester communities they live in, like Toddville, Wingate, and Bishop's Head, have been forgotten because of consistent flooding and poor road conditions. They've created the plan to form one big incorporated town out of the 9 communities there. Calling it Blackwater, the town would have council members and a mayor and a population of about 500.
I know what it would mean for everybody here is there would be a possibility for them to get access to grant funds and possibly improve the quality of life down here and advocate for the local community needs, since you would have a local government that truly gives them a seat at the table.
According to Beverly, they have to get around 70 signatures from registered voters in the area. Right now they have 12. And once they get all 70, he says the Dorchester County Council would host a public hearing.
Let's take a live look into Laurel. After the break, we're going to take one more look at this week's forecast.
This guy uses women for his own gain.
The boss, he had a deal sweetener for me.
He's a white-collar pimp. He wanted to close that deal, and you were the signing bonus.
SVU, tonight on NBC and Peacock.
I did the most unspeakable thing. I have to pay for my crime.
I've evaded the police for years. They can't catch me.
Everything changes.
Found new tonight on NBC and Peacock.
When I got to the office, I found myself just a little bit out of focus. When I was signing documents, I found that I couldn't even sign my name. And then I stumbled a little bit. And my assistant, Becky Roberts, said, "You don't look well." And I said, "No, I'm okay, just tired." And then she said, "If you don't go to the ER, I'm gonna call Rebecca, my wife." I said, "Okay." And the way I was treated was exactly the way we treat anybody else who comes to the ER with a stroke. CAT scan first, vital signs, and then patient room right away. And then literally within minutes, the Jefferson neurologist was already online with our teleneurology system. Minutes count. And having a neurologist there to see everything makes a huge difference. Healthcare is more and more a team sport. BB Healthcare and what we are and what we're becoming. And our relationship with Jefferson not only saved my life, but made sure that I have minimal impact, that I'm able to live my life and continue doing what I do for a long time.
Oh, porches. Hello, aren't you the guy I see on TV, the porch protection guy?
Yeah, I would say.
So they're made of marine grade materials that last for years?
Yeah, I would
And they say I could use my porch all year round?
I think so.
And they keep the dirt, pollen, and rain and wind out? And the custom made right here locally?
They are.
I got to run, but it was really nice talking to you.
Well, it was nice talking to you too.
Call or visit porchprotection.com for your free quote.
Welcome to Beach Barrels. No matter where you're from, everyone is a local. Fun times and good vibes await with a wide variety of craft brews, plus our award-winning Primo Hoagies made fresh daily. Dance the night away at the best live music venue in Ocean City. And there's never a bad seat to catch your favorite sports team. Dine in or relax on our outside deck with comfortable seating and beautiful palm trees for a cozy, tropical atmosphere. Beach Barrels open 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. at 132nd and Coastal Highway.
Take a look at our Lewis view from our Irish Eyes camera. We're going to stay in the 30s with partly cloudy skies. Moisture will begin to build throughout the night along with the cloud cover setting up for that rain late tonight, going to all of tomorrow. Gina of Rehoboth Beach, congratulations. You're our new umbrella winner from our umbrella giveaway. You can keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, sponsored by Brockstead, Mandalis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Calling for a yellow alert day for Friday because we're looking for up to an inch of rain, but about 25 to 30 mile per hour winds.
All right, Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.